A brand new tower troop called the Cannoneer is coming to Clash Royale. Today I'm going to explain to you what the Cannoneer is, how to unlock him, his stats, gameplay, and a lot more. Starting off with what is the Cannoneer? Well, the Cannoneer is a brand new tower troop. For you guys that do not know, you are now able to customize the troop that sits on top of your tower. You guys can see my opponent has the Princess Tower troop and I have the brand new Cannoneer. The Cannoneer is going to be added January 1st, and if you come over to your deck screen and then scroll down, you will see a brand new special spot. By default, you should have the Princess here, but if you tap the Princess then press edit, it will show you all the tower troops available. You can see the Cannoneer is not found, so we're going to open up the brand new tower troop chest to unlock him. The tower troop chest is a brand new chest that will be added to your chest cycle. So after you win a battle on Path of Legends or Trophy Road, you have the chance to get this chest at the end of the battle. This chest is guaranteed to give you a tower troop. You guys can see I open up the first one here and it gives me Princess Tower troops, but we open up the second one and boom, it gives me the Cannoneer. Once again, we go back to our decks, we edit the tower troop, and boom, we now have a Cannoneer as our tower troop. You will notice that my Cannoneer is only level 6 and my King Tower is level 15. So make sure you level up your Cannoneer before you use him on ladder. Otherwise, he will be underleveled and you'll be at a disadvantage. But let's take a closer look at the Cannoneer himself. Now, the thing that makes the Cannoneer unique is he has a slower fire rate, but he does way more damage. So going into a game here, you will see that my opponent has the Princess Tower troop and I have the Cannoneer. We're both going to play a Fire Spirit at the bridge and you will see two very different results. My Cannoneer can one-shot the Fire Spirit, but my opponent's Princess Tower takes multiple shots at that Fire Spirit and the Fire Spirit still connects. So the benefit of using the Cannoneer is he does a lot more damage. The drawback is he has a slower fire rate. So in this next example, they're both going to go up against a Goblin gang, and you will see that my Cannoneer really struggles against a Goblin gang because of that slower fire rate, taking a ton of damage. Whereas the Princess Tower troop still takes a lot of damage because it's a Goblin gang at the bridge that wasn't defended, but wasn't as much as the Cannoneer. I will put their stats on the screen for you guys, and I'll even do a side-by-side comparison. On the left we have the Cannoneer and on the right we have the Princess Tower troop. The first thing you might immediately notice is the hit point difference. The Cannoneer actually has less hit points than the Princess Tower. This is important because some decks rely on Tiebreaker. However, you will see the next stat we're going to take a look at is damage, and the Cannoneer does way more damage than the Princess Tower. Next, we're going to look at hit speed, and the Cannoneer shoots 3 times slower than the Princess Tower. So any swarm cards, graveyard, it's going to be very difficult for the Cannoneer to deal with because he's shooting 3 times slower. However, his damage is so insane, he actually has more damage per second than the Princess Tower. Now I'm going to talk about a very important mechanic with this brand new tower troop. This is not a bug, this is a mechanic, and it's a brand new mechanic which players are going to have to learn. So we're going to put an Electro Giant down at the bridge, and we're going to put a Tower of Power down in the same spot on both sides. Now you'll notice that both Princess Towers shoot the Electro Giant no problem, but both Cannoneers do not shoot. Now we actually asked the developers if this is a bug or a glitch. No, it's intentional, and I'm going to explain to you how it works. So the Princess Tower has a giant circle area where it can attack. If a troop is inside this giant circle, they will get hit by an arrow. That's why pulling troops to the center is important, so both Princess Towers can hit. However, the Cannoneer is more like a giant oval. Now, I realized I just put shapes on the screen. That is not accurate, but it's just to give you a visualization of what this could look like. That is not a bug, that is a feature, and it's something to learn with the brand new tower troop. Now, in the background, I'm going to have just some interactions going, and I'm just going to freely talk about the new tower troop and what I think, my own personal opinion. And the big question you're probably wondering is it worth using? Is the Cannoneer better than the Princess Tower troop? And just like everything inside Clash Royale, it's completely situational. I think fast cycle decks are going to use the Cannoneer. The reason why is because most fast cycle decks have a defensive building in. And with the Cannoneer, a defensive building is super important because it has such a high DPS. You just need to distract the troops long enough on your side of the field so it can put in the work and actually DPS down the troops. Most fast cycle decks have that, and a building I would definitely recommend is the Tower of Power. This makes up for what the Cannoneer lacks. The Cannoneer is bad at dealing with swarms, but the Tower of Power is fantastic at dealing with swarms. So instantly this has fantastic synergy and definitely something I would recommend. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, leave a like, of course subscribe if you have not already, and above my head I'll put a video to me explaining exactly what tower troops are and a bit more information if you're still confused.